Rokukazami asks,
Dear Simon Martina, I was wondering how you felt about Dongho leaving. I know that you guys are mad close homies with Yuki, so maybe you could provide some insight. Thanks, yo.
Yuki, mad props, son. Just wait, we should. How about a high?
So I know a lot of you are going to be watching this video because you know that we have a bit of a relationship with Yuki, so you're going to be wondering if we had any secret information about why Dongho left as opposed to his real reason, and the answer is yes. Dongho didn't leave because of what he said he left for. He's leaving Yuki because he wants to pursue his career as a Brazilian pirate.
Captain Dongho!
Prettiest boy of the seven seas!
Yar, I will drink your ramen, take those girls with that parrot on my shoulder.
Stop, girl, and hand over your ship.
As you can see, that is not the real reason.
And we don't actually have any more information for you apart from what we read in the article.
Yes, we did not ask them.
It's not a place to.
No. Now, for those of you that don't know, Dongho is from Yukis, and he officially...
Don't know Dongho. The copy's working.
As I was saying, Dongho said that he left Yukis because he's really worried about his health and he really wants to just live a normal life, and he absolutely cannot pursue that while being a K-pop idol.
Now there very well could be other reasons as to why he's left, but from what he suggested, let me just say, I don't blame him. I totally understand.
Now we don't want to make this TLDR on Dongho alone, but instead we want to focus on the pressures of the K-pop world and why someone might be tempted to leave it.
Because let me say, if I was in the K-pop world, I would leave after probably day one. I might make it 2 days, but that's about it.
I don't think you should have signed that 7-year contract then, Simon.
No way.
No way.
Now, from our experiences and observations of the K-pop world, a little bit more behind the scenes than most people, we could honestly say that you couldn't pay us enough money to be a K-pop idol because the cons clearly outweigh the pros. Now, this is just from our perspective. For other people, they might have different values and morals, but from what we value most in life, we would never want to be a K-pop idol.
Too many cons for me.
Shitty thing number 1, work hours.
So I feel like most K-pop fans have a kind of vague understanding of how hard their K-pop idols work. They know that they work hard, but do they know how crazy their schedule is? So most groups will have a few concerts a day. And
not a week, a day.
Yeah, depending on their schedule. It could be on a TV program, or it could be an actual concert. It could be a radio show, and they're just like driving and bouncing from like place to place every day. It's crazy.
They'll do one concert in the morning, get in the van, drive 2 hours away, do another concert, get in the van and drive 3 hours away for another concert, all on the same day, no breaks, no nothing. You're sleeping in vans, you're eating in vans. That's crazy.
So you know, we interviewed Cran Pop a little while ago, and when they came in, they were just so exhausted.
Whoa.
And after our event, they were going to another event hours away, and then performing at another event, and then the next day, Susie ran into them performing at an event that she was going to.
Back in Seoul.
That had like nothing to do with K-pop, but it's like they're doing all these different events that you may not actually know about.
That's tiring.
So it's like awesome that you have a successful song and single.
Sure.
But guess what? Now you're going to be working mad crazy hours to promote that.
Not only are you working really crazy sucky hours, but also the conditions in which you work also are kind of crazy and sucky.
Yeah, like the backstage, we've seen a lot of backstages and green rooms now. I was just really surprised. Like, you might have heard about K-pop idols like sleeping on the ground or the benches or chairs. They'll post like Instagram photos of them falling asleep in like weird places, and that's because there's like nowhere else for them to sleep. And when people do music video shoots, it's not like they shoot a music video in a course of like 3 days or a week.
They get this all done in one day non-stop. They're like taking split shifts as to who's sleeping on the changing floor. It looks all cute and endearing when everyone's like all snuggled up, but really that sucks to sleep on floors.
That's not a restful sleep, my friends.
Even Brad from Busker Busker, which was the most successful band of 2012, you would think that their superstar status would treat them any differently. No, they work insane. If you want, you can actually read the article about it in Vice. It's crazy what these guys went through, and that's not even half of what happened. They can't write everything. It would be a book.
Good luck being a vegetarian.
Whoa!
Here's some rice. When I was still living in North America, I've been backstage a couple times for like TV shows, or I had friends who were makeup artists or people who did movie sets, and even the most basic movie run by like students will have like catering.
Small little indie sets have pretty decent food that is being fed to the people there.
But in Korea, it just seems to be like normal Korean delivery, and not even like really good delivery. It's just like whatever local delivery is around.
Like, here's a donkas, here's a kimbap. It's like the cheapest of delivery. Or if they can't get you delivery, then they'll just go to a convenience store and they'll grab like all the chips and cookies they could find and be like, here, eat a bunch of chips and cookies before you perform.
So what I don't get about it is that I understand that there's the actual TV show or there's the actual concert venue that's hosting it, but then it should be up to the individual companies to say like, no, my K-pop group needs to have like green vegetable smoothies, or they need to have like this kind of food. That's what they want backstage. But you see this kind of thing falling through when you hear about girls going on diets.
Crazy diets, like What was that recent one with IU? She's like, she had to lose 8 pounds and like weigh what? Like she was 18 pounds before, now she's 10 pounds.
I don't know, she's a very small girl.
And then her diet was like, for the day I would eat a potato and an apple. And that's her whole freaking diet.
Why did you sound like GD?
Yeah.
Point is that I think a company should be taking care of their K-pop idol, and if they have to go on a diet, it should be a healthy one. It shouldn't be this crappy work environment where they're like, you're fat, lose weight, drink this water, and that's it for like 5 days.
What solid did you have today? An ice cube?
I had some air.
That doesn't count. That's not good. That's not a healthy work environment.
And it's not a good role model for the rest of Korean girls as well. Like, why is it going on record and like a normal thing that you talk about?
These people are idols. They're called idols for a reason. People look up to them. So if they're giving these like shitty diets to little kids, then they're gonna grow up eating that same stuff. And another terrible thing about the work conditions, which we've all read about, how about the fact that if you like break your ankle or sprain your neck or get into a car accident, you still have to perform. You are on stage in like cast and in pain, because if you don't perform, you wind up screwing over the rest of the group in your entire cycle. That sucks. There's no workman's compensation. There's no sick days. It's like you gotta go out there and perform every day of your life. Point number 2, privacy. What privacy?
If you sign up to be a K-pop idol, good luck having a dating life, which seems to be something everyone forgets about. Like, I mean, wouldn't you want to date someone at some point in your life? You're singing songs about boyfriends and girlfriends and love and life, but P.S. you're not allowed to date.
Based on what experience can you sing these songs?
And let's say your dating ban has been lifted from you. Are you just going to go out there and start dating? No, because you might have crazy stalker fans that are going to
murder anyone you try to date.
And there doesn't seem to be any laws enforced. We hear all these stories about like sasaengs, who I'm not going to call sasaeng fans,
they're
because
just
they're just stalkers, okay? They're not fans.
There are no anti-stalking laws, no restraining orders. You have no privacy ensured through the law if you are a K-pop idol.
And I'm sure you guys know what happened to Dongho from SHINee when people find out he had a girlfriend. People like freaked out, made him feel horribly guilty. They like knocked down her fan site. He ended up crying on stage at one point somewhere and like begging for forgiveness, and that's really nice, guys.
So you are allowed to sing and dance about love, but you're never allowed to actually experience it yourself. Sucks.
Sake. Point number 3, living together.
And a lot of people don't seem to consider this, that a lot of these bands live together in dorms. Now, I'm not sure if you've experienced the same thing, but living with other people can be difficult. Like if you have a brother or a sister, you might not necessarily like them all the time.
If you're in college or if you're out of college and you're like renting a place and you've got friends, even if you're really close with them, there are going to be times that you're going to fight and get on each other's nerves. Now imagine, not only do you see each other every day at home, but now you have to be in a van with them, and you have to be backstage with them, and you have to be with them all the time. I would imagine that once in a while you get on each other's nerves, especially when someone goes into the kitchen and eats your last container of ramen, or maybe uses your pillow for their feet, or like uses their toothbrush in your ear, or like...
Not everybody here is best friends for life. There are a lot of tensions that go on off screen, but they always have to maintain this image of being like happy best friends forever.
Friends.
And sometimes living together really freaking sucks.
But not with us.
Because we're best friends for life.
Just be careful because my tattoo's fresh.
Air hugs. The point is maintaining your social image on camera and on stage and during interviews, even if there could be like inner turmoils, must be really freaking tough to do. So those are our major reasons why we would not want to be a K-pop idol, and I'm sure there are many more that we don't know about. Like if I looked at one of the contracts, I would probably run away screaming and crying. So scary. 7 years, sign your life away. It's me the memes. So a couple fun things we just wanted to say about it is that having observed a lot of like fan forums and reading different websites as well as our website, we see a lot of people saying things like, you know, oh, this rookie group isn't getting the recognition they deserve.
Because
like
they're working so hard, it's not fair. But that argument doesn't work on us because everybody works hard. All these K-pop idols have like insane hours and insane schedules and lack of privacy. So for us to pity one band over another isn't fair.
Yeah, especially when people say things like, you know, like, oh, Girls' Generation, Big Bang, like they've made it and it's unfair that they're getting recognition. They don't need it.
You think they didn't
weren't
work
rookie
hard when they
groups?
started?
How much would it suck if you worked for like 5 years to be this band and then people are like, oh, well, now that you're big,
we gotta give a chance to somebody else. So we're gonna talk about a few more different points in a blog post. Make sure you click on the link here if you want to see some more extra thoughts about this subject.
And I have a question for you guys. Would you still want to enter the K-pop world as an idol? Because we do get a lot of emails from people asking, even though you know all this information and a lot of it you really already know without us telling you, do you still want to do it? So what is it that's driving you? I'm really curious to hear from you guys.
For some people, all these cons are not bad enough to get them off the path. For us, I know that I value my time, I value my privacy more than fame and fortune. So that's it for this week's TLDR. If you have a question for next TLDR, leave your question in the comment section below.
Or check out the questions already asked and you can thumb them up to bring them to our attention, or head over to our blog post and thumb up that post as well.
And don't forget to subscribe for more TLDRs where we tell you more about Dongho's career as a Brazilian pirate. Speaking of normal lives, hey Dongho, if you're looking for a normal life, come here work at the Eatyourkimchi studio.
Yes.
I'm sure you will love working here. We'll let you eat all the good stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna get fan mail.
Yeah.
You can
be in our videos.
Coffee, I'll make you tea. And
I got a job waiting for you right here.
we have a puppy and a kitty you can snuggle.
Give me a call. I'll hook you up.
Snuggle cave.
You don't even need to speak English.